If you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and become part of this community. Oh, and also, go cop that fresh merch and listen to my new songs in the description. The first posthumous Lil Keed album, Keed Talk To Em 2, will be coming out next Friday on March 17th. And there have been some interesting developments surrounding the choice of features on the track list. We already got the cover, we got the track list, but there's a Gunna feature that now got removed. So let's take a look at this and let's see what's actually up with this. Real quick, if you don't want to listen to this, make sure to skip 20 seconds into the future, but you can now sign up for my free newsletter with the first link in the description. It comes every Sunday and details everything that's been happening in hip hop over the past week. And follow me on TikTok. I'm posting on there daily. You don't want to miss out on that. Now let's get into the video. So Keed passed away in May of last year. Rest in peace. I mean, you know, I still remember Keed coming up like 2018. I was living in Atlanta during that time when Keed Talk To Em, the first one, came out. So I like understood the impact that he had. Also stuff like Nameless went pretty big during that time. His shows grew from like a couple of people to a couple of hundred people within like weeks. So that was crazy. And now we're getting the first posthumous release, which is Keed Talk To Em 2, so the sequel to the first one that released it. I think it was end of 2018, early 2019, something like that. That's like my memory in my head. And I've never really covered Keed on this channel because it wasn't something that I saw my demographic of viewers being interested in. But before this album is now releasing, I thought that, you know, I would make a video and also in some way to honor him and to kind of shed some attention on this project that I hope some people will now listen to after, you know, not wanting to listen to it first because they didn't know about him. Maybe you're gonna, you know, redecide and listen to the album and, you know, appreciate the great art that he's made and that he's now also releasing through this new project. So as I said, we already got a lot of basic info. We have the release date. It will be coming out on March 17th, so in exactly 8 days. So next Friday, not tomorrow, not the 10th. We got some different stuff coming out on the 10th, but on the 17th. And we got the cover art with it, which is his face in like this rose. I think it looks pretty beautiful. I think it's a fitting cover art for a posthumous release, and I do think that this looks pretty cool. We already got 2 singles as well. The first one was Long Way to Go, which was definitely a beautiful track. We also got, you know, music videos for both of the singles, so make sure to go check those out on his YouTube channel. You know, get him some views on there. And we got another one that's called Self-Employed. You know, this one we already knew. A lot of people heard this before. This was a leak, a snippet, whatever you want to call it, or whatever it was. We obviously he rocked merch, the Self-Employed merch, so that was like his thing going on then. So he was also in the music video. So that's definitely one that I would recommend, you know, everybody go check out. Self-Employed is definitely a great track. That also, both of them made it on the track list, which we're going to take a look at now, and then also look at something pretty interesting concerning Gunna, because obviously Gunna, you know, the now so-called snitch with the YSL allegations and shit like that. Yeah, we got to take a look at that. So this right here is the track list. We're gonna go through it real quick, and at the 5th track, this is the one with Gunna. We're gonna you know, talk about a couple of things real quick. So let's go through it from the top. I like that every producer's credited on here as well. That's not always a given when it comes to artists putting out track lists. So we have the first one called Go See. Now, if you're somebody that's like really into this and has, you know, all the leaks and listen to all the snippets and all the unreleased stuff, then let me know in the comments, but do so with a spoiler because I don't want people to get spoiled that are just casually scrolling through the comments. So if you're someone like that, make sure to, you know, put in the comments, but be aware of putting a spoiler alert. The second one is called Bags to the Sky with Jetson Made, but we're also going to have a Jetson Made feature in here. It's not just produced by him, it's both. It's produced and we have a feature. The third one is called Muso Kuso featuring Nav. Now this one I wasn't aware of, that he was going to have a Nav feature on here, but it's on here. Then we have SRT with Lil Gotti, his brother, so this one was pretty, you know, given. Also Gotti released a song with him a couple of months ago, so that just goes hand in hand. And then we're already at the 5th track called Hottest. Now the funny thing about this is that you can see this one has a Big Sean feature on here, but it wasn't always Big Sean that was featured on this track, because we had snippets of this track where we can clearly hear a Gunna feature. Now the Gunna feature was on here up until we got the track list, or at least that was on the snippet of this whole thing. I'm guessing they recorded it before Gunna went to jail, because obviously, you know, also Keed passed away in May, so likely it was before that, and they were still linking up and putting that thing together. But now he's removed. Now there's a couple of reasons that this might be. either Keed's estate, which is I think also run by his mother, but correct me if I'm wrong. His estate is either, worrying for themselves that they don't want to be associated with someone like Gunna that has kind of a bad rep in the music industry and is getting blackballed by, a lot of people. I mean, he did say he has a album on the way, but let's see how that works out. Or they have a personal problem with that. Maybe they also know some stuff that we don't, and they're like really, really convinced that he's, done something wrong. The snitching is all like even worse than we thought it is. And that's why they don't want to associate with him. So either personal reasons or securing their public appearance. Now, Keed and Gunna were usually two people that worked together pretty well. I mean, they collaborated on different occasions. They had a song 2020 called Fox 5. I still remember that when that dropped. So there was definitely something that they were never like shy to work together. And now it seems like Gunna is being prevented the chance of being on Keed's posthumous album, which is definitely, I mean, from a fellow Atlanta artist to, be denied to be on the posthumous record from Lil Keed, that is pretty, sad for Gunna. Probably he's not happy about that. But let's keep going through this real quick. Let's finish up this track list. 6th track is called Feelings Changed. Then we get Money with Trippie Redd, which I'm pretty excited for having. I always like when Atlanta artists link up, so that's just something that I personally like. Then we have Think About It. Then Long Way to Go, the single that I already talked about. Really like this one. Really, really do. Then we have Can't Fall Victim with Casey. Now this one's gonna be dope. Always love when there's a Casey feature on here. Then we have All I Want to Know with Thug, which is definitely gonna be one that I think a lot of people will gravitate towards because it also is produced by London. So that's likely gonna be a big hit, when a Thug feature on there, not just because of Thug's current situation, but because of the relationship from Keed and Thug. So that one's gonna be dope. Then we have Lost My Trust with Cordae. Love that Cordae is on here. I'm a big Cordae fan, even though he's kind of been falling off since that last album From a Bird's Eye View, but I always appreciate when he does something. Then we got Hitman, then Betty Bot with Carlay, then Off Land featuring Lil Jeremy. Now let me know who that is because I don't know him, but like let me know what I should listen to by him. Then we have Big Bag, another Thugger feature, and Dolly White on there. Then we get another Gotta feature on Kickback with Got It and Stick Baby. Then Self-Employed, the one that I already talked about, and Love Me Again. And the last track is Thank You Lord featuring Friday. Friday likely gonna perform something divine again because that's just what Friday does casually. So that is a track list, and that's the story behind the Lost Gunna feature on this one. I don't know the exact reasons behind this. I think nobody really does. As I said, if you have any more details on this, please let me and the fans know in the comments. Always great to have somebody that knows more in the comments correct me or like add a couple of things, and let's start a conversation about this because I think that this album has the potential because of some, it's always sad to see this, but because of some hype, quote unquote, because posthumous albums usually do very well. We've seen this happen on different occasions, which is definitely sad that we can't get Keed the flowers that he deserved while he was still with us. But at least maybe a lot more people will then go back to his catalog and listen to a lot of the great songs that he dropped. So that's it for this video. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know what you think about the Lost Gunna feature. What do you think were the reasons behind that? Do you think that Gunna, is kind of like done with in the industry? Do you think that even his fellow Atlanta artists don't want him on a track anymore? Is that a big deal? All of your thoughts and your theories on this, please let me know in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.